Symbolism in the Order of the Eastern Star, just for members. This presentation summarizes our research upon some concepts about the Order of the Eastern Star. It pretends to illustrate, inspire, and spread out the teachings of our beloved organization. Morris's Hidden Message. After researching Robert Morris's work sources, we are convinced that our master builder gave us the task to discover his implicit message through our evolutionary journey as members of the order. Morris knew the sources of universal wisdom possessed by the ancient philosophers, as well as the founders of operative and speculative masonry. Morris understood, beyond the superficial differences between men and women, what makes us really different. A man of his intellectual stature, with strong convictions, considered that intuition, premonition, and feelings, qualities better developed in females, were necessary and complementary to the Masonic work. Morris, as well as the ancient builders, alchemists, sage, astrologists, and wizards, performed the work of linking the divine sciences with the human ones. His predecessors pertained to the great golden chain of initiated in the primary tradition, with members like Hermes, Trismegistus, Pythagoras, and Plato. As a good alchemist, Morris knew that the architecture of his creation may lack universality without feminine participation. The image of women, together with their emotional intuition, devotion, and beauty, allowed the proper inquirers to access the secrets of nature. Our investigation respects Morris's secret message, residing in the field of the inexpressible, that he wanted to reveal just to the proper inquirers. Morris protected these ancient teachings, enclosing them in the mysteries of the Order of the Eastern Star. The Order of the Eastern Star. Dr. Robert Morris was an academic, an expert in esoteric sciences. Why call him the master builder? Because the term construct means to build, to make, to lay the foundations with the materials that exist, and Morris built our organization. Dr. Morris integrated a system to transmit a concept. In this engineered process, he used diverse elements like the histories of Josephus to the historian, the Talmud, the Holy Scriptures, and others. The process undertaken by Morris was made in a moment of divine inspiration. Under his spiritual influence, Robert Morris organized and constructed the system of the Order of the Eastern Star to transmit ancestral lessons emanated from the universal tradition. Dr. Morris knew that the ladies' behavior in agreement with the Masonic work impacted the different subtle levels of the cosmos, in the physical, mental, and spiritual dimensions to which an unprepared individual cannot accede. Therefore, Morse erects an organization for women and men. He constructed a structure codified with ample esoteric and exoteric symbols, cradled in the old mysteries that became the Eastern Star, adapting it to the psychology and necessities of the society, a form completely different from the typical structure of the privative masculine organizations. The foundations of Morse's system seem similar to the Masonic ones. They are complementary to the evolutionary process of the initiated. Understanding the message of Robert Morse requires our immersion in the depths of symbolism. What are symbols? The symbols of universal knowledge are signs and allegorical codes that represent a reality of superior order, presenting and revealing us a spiritual reality and knowledge in agreement with our spiritual advance. In metaphysics, the symbol is used to represent what we cannot see, measure, or touch, but we can perceive. Thanks to the symbol, metaphysics displays a physical reality. From ancestral times, the symbol has been considered an intermediary bridge between two realities. One is evident, sensible, and the other unknown. With exercises of observation and meditation, we can reveal the inner, peculiar, and personal knowledge that the symbol provides, helping us in the process to find its true spiritual nature that most of the time evade us. The symbols can be of exoteric or esoteric nature. The exoteric symbols are accessible common symbols to all, not only for the initiated. Normally they are very simple and easy to understand. Exoteric symbols of our orders are our temples, jewels, emblems, dresses, books, and actions. These symbols are easily perceived by our senses. The esoteric symbols maintain their hidden character of difficult access for people not initiated. These secrets are transmitted orally, the same way that philosophers of the antiquity did, like Pythagoras, for example, that instructed in this way a short number of his disciples. The interpretation of the symbols is assumed by different disciplines, like Christian esotericism, Kabbalah, and others. When we take elements from these disciplines, we complement our ideas. These disciplines offer differences just in form, because essentially there is only a unique doctrine. Okay. There are highly used symbols, like the words, that do not always represent strictly what apparently they mean. They keep hidden messages that can be interpreted through Kabbalah. Morse framed his work in the Gospel of St. Matthew. This Gospel is the only one that speaks about the birth of Jesus, related to the Eastern Star, the supposed star that guided the wise men to the birthplace of Jesus Christ. The pentagram, or the Eastern Star symbol, far from any religious denomination, brought the good news. The star communicated to the kings, wise men, and wizards of the most important cultures of the East the arrival of Jesus. Jesus was the master who brought a new commandment of love. Love one another. The figure of the wise men, considered the first followers of the Eastern Star, has its origins in the stories of the most important event of Christian era, Jesus' birth. When Robert Morris designed the Order of the Eastern Star, he chose 5 feminine representations of the holy writings that transport the justice and fairness principles of respect, obedience, loyalty, fidelity to friends, patience, faith, hope, and charity. The Order of the Eastern Star is recipient of the rites and inherited traditions of the old esoteric schools of wisdom. The star, its organizational symbol, was used in the antiquity by the Pythagorean school. Also, it keeps characteristics from the Greek, Gnostic philosophical schools of the pre-Christian communities, as well as is undeniable the presence in our rites of Hermetic, alchemist, and Kabbalistic elements. Metaphysics states that God is light. Therefore, when light is disturbed, each of the colors shows us a manifestation of His divinity. The star rays colors are inspired by 5 colors of the rainbow, considered by Greek as the bridge between the sky and the earth. Although the message of Robert Morris is very clear, to understand its metaphysical lessons, it's necessary a total concentration that prepares us to assimilate its symbolic content. Morris constructed a subtle parapet to protect what, on the other hand, he reveals. His desire was not to limit the access to this knowledge, but a characteristic of the symbol is that it cannot express everything. The function of the immersed symbolism of our lessons is to facilitate the process of integration of our body, mind, and spirit, familiarizing the members with the mysteries of their psyche. The lessons given by the heroines of our order serve to model our character, to eradicate the ignorance, to exile of our heart's pride, to handle our aggressiveness and our selfishness. Is based on the forms, the sounds, the gestures. In a visual representation, there is a set of attributes that individualize or distinguish messages. But between their own meaning and our understanding, there are complementary differences or ideas that create a chain of meaning according to our cultural background and knowledge. Questions that only Morris can answer. Did he find a code that revealed the connection between Jesus and his female disciples? Is that code what drives him to organize this knowledge for men and women to work together to benefit humanity? Answers may have to wait until the moment when the fraternity members meet again, maybe with different attire, in other conditions, because life continues and the spirit is eternal. In spite of time and humanity, Morris has demonstrated with efficacy that his proper application to manage the symbol is effective. After 100 years of this system's construction, his work continues, suggestive and revealing.